Okay, this is the Joyo Blue Jay. The B and J are highlighted there. BJ. Anyway, this is their Bantamp, one of their tiny ranges. Joyo sent me an email saying, would you do some demos? So we kind of went back and forth, and I looked through their website, kind of looking for bits and pieces to demo. They made a couple of suggestions, like some wireless guitar stuff and something else, and I was just like, I don't know, that's not really that relevant for you guys, but I've picked some items, including some pedals, which obviously I guess you guys, like me, would have known about Joyo from kind of their budget sort of pedals, like the American Sound and stuff like that, which I've demoed just personally before Joyo ever would have emailed me or anything. I wanted to know, can this thing actually keep up at a gig volume?
This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses.
Really surprising results. So what is this thing? It's a 20 watt Class D power amp with a sort of one tube 12AX7 preamp, and it's got a Bluetooth receiver, so you can sort of play like audio through it if you wanted to. As well, it's got a normal and bright channel, and then gain, volume and tone. So really simple. This is the one that was kind of like Fender inspired, and I thought I did a Jackman demo earlier in the week. I thought this one actually could be a candidate for trying live, because generally live I use like a clean pedal platform. So I put it into my Mesa Boogie open back cab with an EV speaker in it, 200 watt speaker, and I was super surprised actually. Like, I wasn't necessarily expecting this to work hugely well. I was thinking maybe it'd be a bit quiet or whatever. You can see I haven't changed the tone and volume from where it was, so the volume is basically up full and the gain is way past halfway, but because it's kind of Fender bass, it stays clean, which is good. So for the actual clean stuff, it's clean. What surprised me most of all about this is when it was time to take solo, this has enough headroom in it that my solos were like suitable stage volumes playing with a drummer. So Ash is not the quietest drummer in the world, my good buddy Ash that I play with most weekends, but this kept up on stage and was surprisingly reassuringly like loud. And yeah, I have to say honestly that this, I think, could be in my car as a backup going forward. I wouldn't necessarily think this would be like the main thing that I'd use, but certainly as a backup this is pretty serious, I thought, and it sounded really good to me. Anyway, it's a sponsored video, but I would have told you if it didn't work. It does have a laptop style power supply, which is maybe sort of the weak point, I would suggest, because it then means that you're going to be wedded to using that specific power supply rather than something a little bit more generic like a kettle lead or something. But I guess it'd be difficult to fit the power supply into an amp that size. It even has an effects loop send and return, so that could be useful, and a phone's output. But I was just absolutely impressed by its ability to sort of retain headroom even with the volume up like nearly full. Very impressive to me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I thought maybe this might not be a particularly serious piece of gear, certainly for the price, but I was very impressed by taking it on stage, giving it a whirl, plugging in my Fractal FM9 with it. So the lead tones were like a Timmy and a Zen drive stacked, and then boosted to give like plenty of volume so that the lead tone carries, and it carried so incredibly well. Sounded warm and full. You see I've got the tone kind of backed off. Very impressed. Yeah, for this kind of money to be able to actually have a respectable backup that I can plug into my cabinet, I think it's a great little piece of kit, and of course perfectly suited to home stuff, but that it can actually keep up in a rehearsal / gigging scenario, I think is hopefully useful information for you guys if you were considering these sorts of things. So that is the Joyo Bantamp, the Blue Jay. Pretty impressive. Let me know in the comments if you've got other small format amps that you think are worth trying, and maybe if you've got suggestions you could email me those, because it'd be interesting to get some of these types of pieces of gear and be able to demo those on the channel. I think Quilter are a brand that makes some kind of solid state stuff. Does it have to have a tube in it? Maybe, maybe not. This is obviously a solid state power amp, so you know, whether the 12AX7 in the preamp is making a ton of difference, I wouldn't know for sure. But I think a smaller format amp, you know, if you've got suggestions for that sort of things, please let me know. Gain, tone and volume on basically all of these. You've got a normal or a bright channel. Let's start with the normal. Back the tone off. Up the gain a bit. Nice. So my favourite kind of style of clean really is a Fender clean. Max the volume. Take the volume down about halfway and up the gain. I think it's going to be loud enough to gig it, so I think I'm going to try it tonight. I should hopefully have some footage for you. tiny amp, pretty big sound. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks to Joyo. I've got some demos coming up sort of next month now with some pedals, which I think you guys are going to find interesting because I selected them because I thought they were interesting. Cheers for stopping by.